Hi everyone, it's Miss Carla. I hope you guys are doing well. Um, we are going to continue on with the book Wizard of Oz by Frank Frank Baum, excuse me. We were at the point where we were going to meet with the Tin Man. So let's continue on chapter 4, The Tin Man. After a few hours, the road began to get rough. Walking grew difficult, and the Scarecrow fell many times. But since he was made of straw, he never got hurt. And soon the daylight faded away and the sky grew very dark. Dorothy could not see at all, but the Scarecrow said he could see in the dark just as well as in the light. Dorothy asked him to stop when he saw a horse, for she was becoming very tired. After a little while, the Scarecrow stopped. I see a cottage built of logs and branches. Shall we go there? Oh, yes, answered Dorothy. I'm really tired. When they reached the cottage, Dorothy fell fast asleep with Toto beside her, and the Scarecrow, who never needed to sleep, stood in a corner and waited for morning. As the sun came up, Dorothy was awakened by an awful groan. The sound seemed to come from somewhere in the forest. Dorothy saw something shining not far from where she stood. When she walked deeper into the forest, she saw a remarkable thing. Standing beside a large tree was a man made completely of tin. He held an axe in his hand, and Dorothy looked at him in amazement. Did you groan? She asked. Yes, answered the Tin Man. I've been groaning for a long time, but no one has ever come to help me. What can I do for you? Asked Dorothy. Get an oil can and oil my joints, answered the Tin Man. They are so rusty I cannot move. Dorothy ran back to the cottage and found an oil can. The Tin Man told her where to put the oil. In just a few minutes, the Tin Man was able to move. How can I ever thank you? He said. I might have stood in the forest for years if you hadn't saved me. How did you happen to be here? Dorothy explained that she, Toto, and the Scarecrow were all on their way to the Emerald City to see the Great Oz. When she told him this, the Tin Man began to think. Do you suppose Oz could give me a heart? He asked. The Wicked Witch of the East cast an evil spell on me as I was out here chopping wood. She turned me into tin and took away my heart. Dorothy thought for a moment. Why, I think so, she answered. It would be as easy as giving the Scarecrow brains. So the Tin Man picked up his axe and his oil can and joined his new friends on their journey to Oz. I also want to remind you guys I do have neighbors because I do live in an apartment. I do have a cat too. Right now she's on the couch glaring at me. So hopefully she kind of stays that way. So chapter 5, The Cowardly Lion. As Dorothy and her friends continued on their way through the forest, they heard a terrible roar. The next moment, a great lion ran into the road. Dorothy and her two friends were very frightened, but little Toto ran ahead and barked at the huge beast. When the lion saw the little dog, he opened up his mouth as if to bite him. Dorothy became so angry at this that she rushed forward and slapped the lion on the nose. Don't you dare bite Toto, she shouted. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, a big lion like you trying to bite a little dog. I didn't bite him, said the lion as he rubbed his nose with his big paw. No, but you tried to, Dorothy answered. You're nothing but a coward. The lion hung his head in shame. He confessed to Dorothy and her friends that although he was supposed to be the king of the beasts, he really was a coward. And large tears fell from his eyes as he told the travelers his sad story. Oh, the poor lion was afraid of almost everything and everybody. The Scarecrow stopped for a moment and scratched his straw hat. And then he said, I'm going to Emerald City to ask the Great Oz to give me brains. Maybe Oz could give you courage. The lion wiped away his tears. If I only had courage, then I could truly be king of the beasts. So Dorothy, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man invited the lion to join them on their journey to the Emerald City. The lion agreed, and the friends continued to follow the yellow brick road towards the home of the Great Oz. Chapter 6. This will be our last chapter for today, I believe. Yes. The Deadly Poppy Field. That night, Dorothy and her friends camped under a large tree in the forest. The Tin Man cut some wood with his axe so Dorothy could make a fire. The lion hunted for food, and the Scarecrow searched for nuts and berries. After several days, they passed through the forest and came to a lovely, sunny land. The first thing they saw was a large field of scarlet poppies. Poppies are beautiful flowers, but when there are many of them together, the smell is so powerful that anyone who breathes it falls asleep. Dorothy did not know this. In a very short time, her eyes grew very heavy, and she sat down to rest. The Tin Man tried to awaken Dorothy. He shouted, "There's no time to rest. We must hurry and return to the yellow brick road before dark." But by the time Dorothy was fast asleep. Since the Tin Man and the Scarecrow were not made of flesh, the scent of poppies did not make them sleepy. "What shall we do?" asked the Tin Man. "How will we ever get back on the road to Oz? If we leave Dorothy here, she will surely die." The Scarecrow had an idea. He told the lion to run quickly through the field so that he could escape the deadly flowers. Then he and the Tin Man could carry Dorothy and Toto out of the poppy field. So the Tin Man and the Scarecrow made a chair with their hands and carried Dorothy slowly through the field. After a while, they came to a bend in the river. There, lying fast asleep in the flowers, was the lion. The smell from the poppies had been so strong that the huge beast had given up and fallen asleep. The Scarecrow and the Tin Man felt very sad. Since they could not carry the lion because he was so heavy, they had no choice but to leave him there to sleep. Oh no. And that's the end of chapter 6. So, I hope you guys are doing well. Next time we will continue with chapters 7, 8, and 9. I think we're going to do 3 chapters at a time. So watch out for the next video. There's going to be a new video every Monday and Wednesday at noon. Check out our Facebook events to see any more live streams. And I think that's it for now. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.